Great College Vikings after a 31-0 victory over the Maryville Scots in the opening round of the D3 football playoffs. Coach, second straight year we've had a playoff game at home, second straight year with a victory. So what did you see out of your team today?
Well, the ability to bounce back. It's been a long time since we had to bounce back after a loss. And we really didn't have any doubt, about that. I thought we probably started off a little bit slow at the beginning of the game. But when we kind of caught a little speed there about midway through the first quarter, and a large part has to do with these two guys sitting right beside me. All year we've done a great job of being able to run the football and stop the run. And, I say that time and time again, we try to make the game of football pretty complicated. But at the end of the day, when you can control the line of scrimmage, good things usually happen. So, I thought we did that for the most part here today.
Joey, I made a joke to you ahead of the interview here, but 105 rushing yards, 2 rushing scores. You also had 70 yards through the air and a receiving touchdown. Probably one of the best games that you've ever had as a running back. So what were you seeing today and what worked for you?
I just saw it's been our senior year. I want to get out and play one last time on our home turf. I saw a group of men that love to play football right beside me, and that fueled me too. We just love playing the game.
Did you realize that you were having a day that you were going through at it, or were you just kind of playing and letting the plays come to you?
I just knew that I had the best O-line right there in front of me, helping me do anything. I couldn't do it without them, and they really gave me the chance, I guess.
Bryson, 6 tackles and a sack out of you, but really defensively, obviously holding them to no points. You guys were stout all day, so what were you seeing as far as the defense goes?
We just pride ourselves on being physical up front. We preach stay in our gaps, so we just try to do our job.
Coach, what did you see on the defense today? Obviously, that's about as good of a performance as you can hope for holding no points.
Yeah, I think a couple things. I mentioned earlier. The ability to control the line of scrimmage and making them one-dimensional. And their quarterbacks, they are good, and they're going to be even better. But they're both freshmen, so we wanted to try to make them, just like any team, one-dimensional. So I thought we did that, and we have a lot of respect for their running back core, especially Elijah Chenier. Elijah, we've faced him, I don't know how many times, I guess maybe five times now. 5 too many. He's a special back, so we knew we had to stop him. It started up front, and I'm just looking at the stats now. I didn't realize we had 6 sacks, 55 yards rushing for them on 40 carries. So that's a pretty good day at the office up front. And I think, switching to the offensive side when you have, in a tough spot and playing with the number 2 quarterback, I thought we did a good job, especially this guy to my right, of taking some of the pressure off of Heath. But I thought Heath, played very well. When you look at his overall stats, and had a pretty good command of the game.
Joey, what are your thoughts on the Tate has really been the guy most of the year. He comes in this game and then really 216 yards and a touchdown. But what was the thought offensively coming in with Heath back there rather than Tate?
Weren't worried, really. Man plays his heart out every day, every down. And I was seeing it in practice, and always do in practice. I wasn't worried at all about it. I knew he could play up, and we got depth.
And I think we did. And a shout out to the offensive staff. I think we've came into this year with a pretty good plan of knowing that, okay, Tate and before him Slade have pretty much been the 2 quarterbacks for 2 years, and it's important to get some meaningful reps to a guy like Heath, and he's gotten meaningful reps in every single game. So now when you're put in this situation, it's not brand new for them. So I think that was a really good job by our offensive staff of thinking ahead, and it obviously paid dividends on a game like today.
Bryson holding the 5 of 15 on 3rd down. What led to that efficiency?
We stopped the run first and pin our ears back and get to the quarterback.
What about the bucket interception there on the sideline? That was kind of a big swing there.
Yeah, I got blocked. I didn't even see it. I was helping the quarterback up when he got hit out of bounds because they do a good. I mean, those guys were elusive back there. So I think we had a bunch of sacks, but I thought we could have had a bunch more too. They did a good job of getting out of some tough situations, but. All year, I don't think we've been as good the second half of the year in the turnover margin. I think at one point we were leading the nation in turnover margin. So it's good to kind of get back to that a little bit. I don't think we didn't turn the ball over on offense, I don't believe. And we had a pick and then that fumble. So I guess it was 2-0 in the turnover game. So, that kind of cost us last week. So we wanted to get back into, being on the plus side of that.
Joey, before you had your long run for the touchdown there in the third quarter, Darryl gets called back for a punt return that could have been a touchdown.
Hit it for him.
Well, yeah, did you two kind of like see each other on the way in and be like, all right, I got you.
I was saying, good run, man. I'm sorry that happened. That happens a lot, I guess. Not just to like our team, but like, I'm just saying in general. That's a tough situation. But I mean, I was happy to see my man get out there and burn some people. So I mean, it got me pumped up.
I'd like to see that one on film.
Yeah, honestly, I don't.
Let's put it that way. I'd like to see that one on film, but it is what it is.
And you come right out the next play and just go ahead, round to the right and down the sideline. There you go.
Just worked out, I guess. Like, ball don't lie.
Maybe that was it. Maybe that was karma. I don't know if you believe in that.
What was it like having Justice here today, Justice Edwards?
You guys want to say first?
On the defensive side of the ball too. I mean, he's such a, before his injury and even now, I think more so than ever, he's just been such an awesome guy.
Personally, when I was getting pumped up just hearing about him coming, honestly, and I love that man to death. I think we all do, and he's a big motivation for us.
That was a big motivating factor last week. I mean, we talked about it going into the Trinity game of, we can guarantee a home playoff game, if we would finish the season 10-0. And, when we didn't get that done, I think there was obviously a lot of disappointment of losing a football game, but potentially losing a home game, which would potentially, lose the ability to have Justice come back and see us. That man's been an inspiration. And from the time he was laying on the turf in Danville, Kentucky, he has not wavered from his faith. He said he's going to be back when he's laying on the turf there. He continued to say he's going to be back, and I do not doubt that guy one bit. And he's been an inspiration to us all season. As we're doing the Viking walk, we're a little bit late today because he was late to the party. But I'm glad we met him about halfway through, and he got out of the car, and there's a lot of emotions that go through your mind when you see that, and he's a special man.
Bryson, overall this season, talk about what it's meant to you to come out and do like you have in this industry.
I just tell myself, give 100% every play, do the best I can. I worked hard in the off season. I was ready for this year, and I tried my best every play.
Floyd County guy.
That's right.
We had a bunch of them on the field today.
Yes, sir.
3 from Pepperell, 1 from Coosa.
Looking ahead to next week, in all likelihood, I haven't seen the final score, but Mary Hardin Baylor was leading, so potentially Mary Hardin Baylor or Hardin Simmons. What are your thoughts on next week?
I'll be honest with you, Blake. I try not to think about next week right now. It's the playoffs. You're going to play, really good teams week in and week out. When you think of there's 250 Division III football schools and only 32 make the playoffs, those are 32 really good teams. And I hope we learned from our experience last year of having to go up and play one of the big boys of NCAA Division III football up north and playing St. Thomas up in St. Paul. Hopefully the guys that had that experience can learn from that, and no matter who it is, we're going to compete, and that's what this program is built on. That's what guys like this have done day in and day out in practice and in the off season. So we'll enjoy this today, and we'll get back to work tomorrow. But it's always good to be practicing on Thanksgiving.